Morning all, it's 11 o'clock-ish, 8 minutes past 11, yeah, looks about right. I'm Tim, this is How to Murder Feet, a walking adventure. Let's not fool anyone, you've stumbled on my off-site backup for my holiday videos, but you're welcome to watch them too. So I'm in Skegness at the beginning of the last day. This is day 5 of 5 of week 4 of 4 of year 8 of I don't know how many. We're going to get all technical. And today I am walking from Skegness to Mablethorpe, which is 15 miles that way. There's your jolly Skegness is so bracing, jolly trawlerman, fisherman thing. They've immortalised it in a bronze statue here. See it on a lot of railway posters from the 30s and stuff. It's their big iconic thing. So everything's sorted. I've checked out of the hotel. This is why I'm a bit late today, at 11 o'clock start. I've checked out the hotel, driven to Mablethorpe, dumped the car. That was quite awkward because there was a number of closed roads and detours and things which didn't help my timing, but that's okay. So I parked the car in Mablethorpe car park and I've cycled back here. And I have had the best cycle ride ever, really. It's been a glorious day, mellow weather. It's about 15 degrees, which is perfect, really. Wouldn't want to get much hotter. There's some good sunlight. Definitely no rain today. I'm absolutely certain. And so Google gave me a route on the bike from Mablethorpe to here, which was basically the England coast path. So I've actually cycled pretty much all of today's route already. And the reason it did that is because about 3/4 of the route from here to Mablethorpe is seafront promenade. It's ridiculously long. I mean, I've not seen anything like that since Bournemouth, you know, where I basically did spend a whole day on a concrete promenade. There's a bit of sand at this end, and there's a bit of dunes halfway up for about a mile or two, but mostly it's a seafront promenade, so well kept and maintained and swept and stuff by the wind that I could comfortably cycle along at about 12 miles an hour most of the way. So yeah, I mean, in terms of technical walking, it's going to be a bit monotonous, but right next to the sea pretty much all the way up, and there's absolutely perfect conditions. So, and I think I deserve that as a kind of reward for the daring do and the toil I've put in all this year. It's nice to have what will promise to be a good one that isn't going to pose all sorts of problems and challenges as my last one for the year. Anyway, day's wasting, let's crack on. I'm going to get back to the pier and then we'll press on into the unknown. I mean, it's not unknown because I've done it all already this morning. Alright, there's the pier again. And this time we're heading this way, heading on out. Trying to find the actual path. Could be any one of these. I came in by the back streets for the last bit. Generally, the signage has been absolutely top-notch this week. I've not had any problems apart from the broken bridge, which wasn't really National Trails' fault, more Lincolnshire Council's, I suppose. It's down there, look, I think. Let's have a quick look. Gosh, here you lot. Sorry. There we go. Is that pointing up? I think that might be pointing back up. Oh, it doesn't matter, it all gets to the same place in the end. Alright, let's do it. What a slab-sided monstrosity travel lodge type thing. It's Premier Inn this time. They're distinctive. Breaks up the monotony of a harmonious coastline. Alright, let's up and away. Here we go. A little bit breezy today, but in a good way, you know. And it's basically going to be this all day. Seriously. I mean, I cut off across back streets because there's a golf course there. It does get a bit sandy up here, but up by those buildings, on the white buildings at the distance, it then turns into this again for cyclable stuff for miles and miles. It's great. Ooh. I mean, I don't normally like to cycle along the route I'm going to do that day, but today it was just so pleasant, I don't mind, you know. I'm quite happy to do this bit twice. A wind farm out there, whirling away. It's the pier, still. Some of these people coming the other way I recognise from when I cycled past them earlier. I don't think they recognise me though, because I didn't have the hat on then, see. I'm a master of disguise. So yeah. just a gentle promenade for the rest of the day. I am quite glad for the easy leg today, because got a 4-hour car journey after that once I pick the bike up afterwards. Going straight home at the end of today, although I suspect this is probably as far north as I'm likely to be able to get and still do that in one day. It starts to get a bit fraught after that, much further north. I have to start just using the whole Friday as a return journey instead of cheekily shoving it on the end of the Thursday hike. And it's not bad, it's not a problem. I don't mind long car journeys particularly. It's just I don't want to be like getting home at 2 in the morning sort of thing. Oh, it's just absolutely wonderful today. Puffy clouds, modest breeze. Temperature's good for me if I keep moving. Might feel it a bit if you stood still, but it's not how I roll. Yeah, let's get some solid mileage in. Good. Yeah. Google was telling me to stay on this bit on the bike, but I didn't. I got off because it looked a bit sandy at the other end. Should have trusted it. I saved myself at least 3 minutes. There's a big golf course through there. I just went around the other side of it instead, through some back streets. No biggie. I honestly can't believe how, because every seaside town or village or whatever likes to have a bit of a seafront. It's a driver for tourism, bit of trade, and to facilitate that, you add some access. You make it a bit more pavementy. So you'll have a little bit of promenade, a little bit of pavement, some beach huts and stuff. But it's very rare that even extends more than like a quarter of a mile outside the city or town sort of borders. But this goes pretty much unbroken apart from a section in the middle between Mablethorpe and Skegness, which are 15 miles apart. I'll say, I mean, yeah, Penzance had a very large seafront promenade. I think you could basically walk along a pavement from Mousehole through to St Michael's Mount without having to truck off up into the wilds and the heather. Bournemouth, of course, pretty much all the way from the chain ferry at Poole Harbour all the way around to Hurst Castle was pavement. So. But that's usually when you got lots of small towns all merging together. I don't know who decided this was cost effective, but I'm not complaining. Suits me fine. Here's a nice change from the fens, especially yesterday with that far section of middle of nowhere when it rained on me. There's parts of that were basically waist high grass that no one had really gone along in any reasonable time. I suppose the bridge having been out for a number of years probably didn't help with foot traffic. But yeah, quite surprising. So I'm very glad I didn't have to cycle back along the road route from Skegness to Mablethorpe, because that was about a 20-mile inland road trip. I mean, I actually hit hills at one point. I went that far inland, which was very surprising. Thought, gosh, I'm not looking forward to having to cycle up here, but no, Google came through. Just said, yeah, you might as well just do the coast path. So, oh, okay. I mean, normally the coast path is not a suitable cycle track. I mean, it's not like the southwest coast path, Devon, Cornwall, Dorset, that is actually prohibited for cycling. I mean, you see mountain bikers on it occasionally, but they're not meant to be there. It is a footpath, as opposed to a bridle way, which a cyclist would be allowed to use. But there's no specific rules that I know of about the England coast path. I think it varies by section, but in my experience, the England coast path co-opts whatever local throughway there is. So. And this bit was perfectly cyclable, yeah. There was even signs up at the Mablethorpe end encouraging local cycling along it. So, do's and don'ts, slow down when you go past people, which I do, I'm a reasonable cyclist. But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, most of the time I wouldn't expect to be cycling back along the coast path. Local beach for local people. Oh, here we go, look, that's me, that's what I do, it's my thing. Oh, have I got to, Okay, that's just an alternative route. Bloody golf courses, see? Oh, I'm gonna take the beach, I don't care. I think it's high tide but going out looking at it, so actually that does just look like a path. Why don't I just follow the path 550 metres and there'll be some steps in the bit. Oh yeah, that's the bit I came off because I was coming the other way. Yeah, I saw that. I got to that junction from the other end and thought, oh, that doesn't look cyclable. So, and it isn't because there's 400 metres of beach. And to be honest, pedalling in actual deep sand is very, very hard work, you know. So I'd rather not. I mean, you know, I bitch a lot about walking on sand, but cycling on sand is even worse, I find. Just bogs down, starts to wheel spin, you wobble, fall over. So yeah, I've got mountain bike tyres on the new bike, so that helps. I mean, I'm sort of umming and ahhing about whether to swap those off for hybrids again, like I had on the old bike, because I anticipate doing most of my stage cycling on the roads. So mountain bike tyres add a bit of drag, make it a bit harder work on roads. But then they help with this kind of thing, where occasionally there are sort of sand drifts across the path that cause trouble a bit. I don't know, I think I might just leave them, they'll be alright. It just means I have to work a little bit harder pedalling. Won't do me any harm. Build up my legs a bit. Well, I'm just going to follow along down here and see what happens. Bloody golf courses. I've had so much trouble with those in my time abroad in the country. Long walk, a good walk spoiled, as they say. Oscar Wilde? I don't know. Golf courses and sailing clubs as well. They tend to be a bit of a bugbear when it comes to shoreline access. No, can't come through here. This is where we park our boats. Okay. Alright, I'll go and trudge off through this marshland then. See the shore again in about an hour. Well, you're on your little balcony sipping gin and tonics. Smash the system. Yeah. Well, actually, if my memory serves me correctly, and this was only about 45 minutes ago, I should come up to a proper promenade for a long way after the end of this golf course then. Pubs and the such. There's a lot of trailer parks, no, not trailer parks, static caravan parks, yes. Subtle distinction, important. A lot of static caravan parks up this coast, and Butlins as well, which we'll go past before very long. Ingold Mills. So we're sort of very much on the holiday coast again, after our adventures detouring around the Wash. I think you can just about make out Hunstanton Cliffs, the other end of the Wash there in the distance. There's definitely a headland there, some trees and things in the distance. I can't bother with zoom though, take my word for it. But no, that's it now. After that, I think we get a bit of overhang of the Humber. There's a sort of large peninsula on the north side that loops round to the south. That will be something to look at when we get much further north. But I think for a while now, for a couple of days, we're going to have uninterrupted North Sea, endless vistas. And somewhere out there is Norway, I think. It depends on the angle. Denmark and Norway. Yes. I forgot what I was talking about. I think I was just rambling, really. I'm going to put you away and walk for a bit then. See you soon. Well, here we go. Yeah, this is the bit that I balked at taking the bike along, and rightly so. Big old danger sign up there, and a massive "Go away! This is a golf course. You're not allowed here" sign. So here we go then. This is the coast path. It's all right. I haven't done any sand and actual beach this trip, so don't mind a little bit. Get to that white building over there and it all resumes again, so it's a bit nearer in fact. I remember coming past that, so a couple hundred metres of this and then we're, well, 400 metres to be precise, if that sign said so. So yeah, well, let's have a little look at the sea up close. Enjoy the opportunity afforded by this absolute menace to society, the golf course. Yeah, it looks like it's going out to me. That's okay. You can tell because the bit above the waves is wet, whereas it's usually dry as the sea comes in when it's coming up. Nice. Yes, see it's all still draining away. So we're pretty safe here for the next 6 hours. Yes. There we go, nice bit of actual seaside to round off the week. This is about as close as we've been able to get this week, because it's been like 3 miles of salt marsh to the side of the path most of the way around so far. Seems like Hunstanton. The wash, yeah. I don't know, the wash is the wash. It was always something I needed to get through. Not sure how I feel about it in and of itself. It's okay, yeah, nice. It's a nice contrast to this kind of thing. I'd get bored of this kind of thing if it was this kind of thing all the way. There's something nice about walking along the actual shoreline, you know. Slow going, hard work and wet and sometimes a bit dangerous, but let's bring home the very essence of the coast. Yeah. Marvellous. Okay, I recognise that gate sort of metal post structure there with the white sign next to it, centre shot. That's pretty much where I turned off and went off around the golf course. Honestly, you think, you know, a collective endeavour that so much encapsulates our national identity as the England Coast Path. You'd think everyone would be on board. You'd think, who could possibly object to something like that? You know, it's a source of income. It's a recreational thing. It's a tourist thing. It's a national identity thing, which they're very big on in this part of the country. And it's really very minimal amount of disruption to land nearby, you know. Typical coast path, in my experience, is about, I don't know, on average less than 2 metres wide in general. I mean, it's wider in places, but on the whole it just needs to be a footpath, you know, a little bit of hedge on each side. It generally leaves itself alone. It generally doesn't need a lot of maintenance. I mean, some people do. Some parts of it are mown and trimmed or grazed, you know, that's good. Fences and stiles need to be kept in good order, but it's not a huge drain on the national budget compared to, like, I don't know, the defence budget or the pensions budget. Very minimal, I imagine. And okay, I'll be the first to admit that I see surprisingly few people who look like they're doing the whole thing, you know. I think I'm probably quite rare, but it's really not a lot to ask. But no, we're playing golf, piss off. So here I am, you know, braving the shoreline. Happens to be a nice day, happens to be low tide, but it might be more inconvenient than otherwise. Or you can take a half-mile detour in amongst the housing estate if you like, just bog off, you know, we don't care, we're playing golf. Although, you know, I still think, you know, in terms of the needs of the many, probably more people use that golf course than the coast path here. Well, I've seen a lot of people trudging up and down this bit of beach. So maybe, yeah, doesn't have to be people doing the whole thing like me. It can be just local people who like to use it to get from there to there. But no, bog off, we're playing golf. And you're not really, are you? It's like 30 or 40 people on there today, throughout the entire day. Most of the time, most golf courses I see are just empty, big old bits of grass, you know? Painstakingly mown grass. To pay some poor bugger to spend his days tractor mowing all of that. Groundskeepers and so on. I don't know. I'm ranting again, you can tell. This was going to be such a nice day. But yeah, bog off, we're playing golf. Kind of sums up a lot of people in this country, I think. Even people who don't actually play golf, you know. Honestly, never happy me. Unless I've got something to complain about. No, I don't mind. I mean, yeah, there is signposted access paths all the way around. I cycled on the alternate around the course this morning, so it's viable enough. It's a bit noisy alongside the main road coming in from the north. Or there's the beach, you know, which, okay, I like a bit of beach now and then. It is what it is. But this little concrete fencey piece here, it then turns into a flat concrete footpath that's about 4 or 5 metres wide that runs from here north about 7 or 8 miles to Chapel St Leonard, which is a small seaside village where I will probably have some sort of lunch stop. It's about halfway, and then onward. So I don't worry about this bit particularly so much. Yeah, I definitely made the right call not bringing the bike through here though. You notice a complete absence of tyre marks anywhere along here. Don't think anybody's really going to try it. I mean, even if they had tried it on a bicycle, the winds and dunes would have swallowed their tracks, and probably them too, before they got to the other end. So yeah. Yeah, just get up onto that concrete bit, and then we're plain sailing again for a very long time. Bog off, I'm walking. Yeah, I told them. Bloody showed them. There you go. Trespass on it will render you liable to suffer serious injury from golf balls and or machinery. Wow, that's harsh. I mean, I know they don't like walkers, but still. Yeah, bog off, we're playing golf. Anyway, enough about that. I'm going to put it from my mind and not fret any further. So yeah, basically that left-hand footpath goes off around the golf course. I took the bike down there, it's all right. But from here onwards, for a very long way, it's basically like this. So that's good. Oh, dearie me, no one wants to look at me at 1 times. Or 0.6 really, but 0.6 is less harsh, I find. Oh, sort of got this. Large posies lashed to the railing. A very large number. I mean, I don't think it's that particular bit of sea is extremely dangerous or anything. I think it's more that people who died liked coming here in life and are commemorated thus. Kind of railing of the dead, pretty much, most of the way past Butlins. Plastic flowers mostly. Though they are very realistic these days. More durable against the elements. I think it's just, I don't know what the prevailing conditions are for here. It is mostly off. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, in general, the United Kingdom gets hit from the southwest with wind up the Gulf Stream generally, but whether this all turns cyclonic up here more often, and I don't know. Not important. Alright then, let's perambulate. Let's promenade. That's how I roll today. Some more flowers along here. Look, one of the NCI Coast Watch booth things. I was zooming along here so fast I didn't notice on the way here. And the Derbyshire Miners Convalescent Home. Didn't know we're in Derbyshire. Yes, great respect for the work that these fellows do. Volunteers, keeping an eye on the sea. May become one day. Yeah, lending library with no roof. Right, I better get some miles in then. I think it looks just like static caravans for a while now, and I think we've seen some of those already. Oh, there you go. Don't see many of those these days. Slava Ukraini. Of course, that's all still going on. I imagine I'll be banging on about that in May too. No signs of any kind of ceasefire. You know, the NATO are getting increasingly terse and sending increasingly strongly worded letters to Putin, but you know, what with the whole sort of yo-yo diplomacy from Trump, it's hard to see what's happening at all there really. I think it'll just keep going and going, grinding on. Nobody wants to actually get their feet wet, you know. But yes, you tend to see a lot less of those flags around these days. I think most people are just bored of the whole thing. I imagine the Ukrainians are probably quite tired of it all as well, would like it to stop. So what are we doing? How are we doing? It's just coming up to midday. A lot of bikes going past. Many of them are e-bikes, and I don't think they count. Basically motorbikes, low-powered motorbikes. Oh, it's fine, whatever. That's one of the nice things about this kind of terrain, this kind of path. I've seen a lot of mobility scooters go past, a lot of people with sticks or walking trolleys, you know, the sort of Zimmer frames with the wheels on. Accessibility stuff. That's good. Because it means a whole load of people who might not otherwise be able to enjoy the seaside can. Because someone's paid for all this to be put in. Oh yeah, yes, it doubles as sea defence as well, but it's like I always say, if you're going to build a sea defence, why not put a footpath on the top? Double bonus. Yeah. It's all good. Enjoying today. Don't even think I need any lunch stop just yet. I'm just going to keep on rolling through. I'll wait, get to Chapel St Leonard's, I think, before I have a proper stop. Had a big old village green, had a little sit down and a swig of drink while I was on my way on the bike. It's a brief rest stop. It's very pleasant, and I shall show you it in a minute, directly once we get there. Wow. But I think that's got to be the most openly xenophobic pub I've ever seen, and I've been to Clacton and Jaywick. Yeah, that'll learn them. That'll hold back the tide of multiculturalism. There's no one about. Who are you trying to demonstrate to? Actually, has got me feeling nervous, and I think I'm British about 5 or 6 generations back, so you know. It's starting to feel like I don't belong. It's the Butlins Sea Gate, number 1. Butlins holiday camp in there, Ingold Mells, I think we've reached now. Yeah, Butlins at Skegness. I heard of this place. I used to have a lot of family holidays in Butlins in the 80s. Used to be a kid inside one of those. It's good. Yeah, they used to have wacky names in the 80s. I think this one used to be called Fun Coast World. And there was Summer West World was the Minehead one. That's the one we went to. And South Coast World at Bognor Regis. I think it might have been a Star Coast World in Wales as well. Oh look, there it is. Not the lower one. Yeah, that's the Lincolnshire flag I was describing before. Yeah. Anyway, Butlins, oh yeah, you can tell they got one of those at Minehead as well, the big old trapeze teepee thing. Yeah, there's only 3 left now. There used to be about 7 or 8 when I was a kid. And, there's some of the Pwllheli one in Wales became a Haven caravan park, I think. Saw better times. It's a very closed ecosystem. I think you can see it paying homage to its Second World War prisoner of war camp roots and origins. The modern security fencing. That's a good spiky aluminium fence. So you normally see those around the Thames estuary, around loading yards. But yes, despite the prison-like look and the conformity of chalet living accommodation, I think it's meant to be sort of basically an internal ecosystem. It certainly was back in the 80s. Anyway, you shouldn't ideally need to go out of the camp once you're in. It's all paid for, package holiday, all inclusive sort of thing. Some of those are self-catering, but they've got shops in there as well. Butlins, Lincolnshire, yeah. Everyone does a little, no one has to do a lot. Wow. That sounds like the precepts of communism to me. Burn it all. Damn commies. I think I owe a lot to Butlins, actually. I mean, part of the reason I'm here now doing this is because when I used to stay at the Butlins at Minehead in the 80s, I'd go out and about in the town in Minehead, and I saw the original fingerboard, Poole Harbour, 600 miles, you know. I think it wasn't even a formalised proper southwest coast path back then. I think they only happened at 91, but yeah, and just the idea of that, wow, that sounds like That sounds like a long way away. Imagine the distance, imagine the adventures you could have along the way. Imagine walking 630 miles from Minehead to Poole. And, well, here I am. I did. So, but yeah, Butlins in Minehead is quite formative. I think I've walked past all of them now, have I? Well, this is Skegness, obviously. We've done Bognor Regis. That was down on the south coast. That's quite a long time ago now. About 3-4 years ago, perhaps. No, actually, thinking about it, I haven't walked past the Minehead one yet. Obviously, I've stayed there as a kid and stuff, but the Minehead Butlins is actually about half a mile the other way from the start of the South West Coast Path. So, in fact, it will be one of the very last things I ever come across on this endeavour. It'll be on my final lap of victory, I think, on the north coast of Somerset. Long way away. But yeah. Thank you, Butlins, for making me the man I am today. Alright, onward. Enough maudlin self-reflection. Let's look at a bit more path. Yeah, reached a sort of little mini headland promontory. I think we've left Butlins behind now. I think there's a lot of smaller independent caravan parks all along this bit now. Some sort of fun fair over there. Or was that just a really wacky ore conveyor? They're very big on padlocks here. You don't see that much back home. Flowers. All very, very pretty and poignant. Not sure I've gone half a mile without an ice cream shop so far today. And oddly enough, I really don't want one. I'm fine. Yeah. See, now that the drinks and food are everywhere, I'm actually okay. Wait till I get to the middle of a fen and we're like 4 miles in each direction to anything, and then I'll start complaining about not having a Magnum. Mind you, it's very late September, so quite a lot of it's closed. It's what? Thursday, at 12:30, Thursday on the 25th. So I had to drag down the little bar at the top to see. 25th. So, yeah. The holiday season's well and truly over. So it's just locals out taking the air, I think. There are a few late bookers. But yeah. It looks like more fun and ice cream and things up ahead as well. Now I'm going to try and hold on until we get to Chapel St Leonard as my designated lunchtime stop. Like I said, I don't want to dawdle too much today because I have a long car journey later. That's good though. Probably one of the most pedestrianised domestic stretches of the coast path I've ever come across. 1:15. Still striding well. Strider they call me. Actually no one calls me that. I think they should. I think that'd be awesome. So in the distance we got Chapel St Leonard's, kind of beach huts and whatnot, which is not quite halfway for today, but a good place to stop. Good place to have a snack or something. I'm highly confident of finding a lemonade and a packet of crisps today. It's been rather poorly represented most of the rest of this trip so far. If I had any specific complaint about this week, it's the lack of conveniently placed pubs in the middle of the fens on the shoreline serving lemonade and crisps. And even the ones I have found have been closed. So, you know, there's that. But, you know, I mean, first world problems, very much so. But, yeah, I mean, we're sort of in a no man's land between places at the moment. Look at it, it's still a sort of 3 metre wide, utterly flat, well swept pavement with handrail. So, yeah, I was zooming along here this morning. Excellent cycle route. I don't know where National Cycle Route number 1 has gone at the moment. I don't think this is it. I've been following that on my return stages every morning on the bike pretty much all week. But I don't know where it goes north of Skegness, probably inland a fair bit. I don't think it's this. And I'm very glad I came along here though. Absolutely sublime bicycle ride along here this morning. And I'm very much enjoying the walking too. So, isn't it nice to hear me not whinging and complaining for a change? Must be quite a relief for you watching all this. So yeah, not much to report for the next mile or two, but after which I think I might have a sit down and see what I can do in the way of local pubs. There must be something open. I mean, it's a little village of, well, it's a fairly big sized village with a big old suburb on one side that I cycled through, so must be a fair number of people who just want to go to the pub on a Thursday lunchtime, you know. Well, we'll see. We'll go over here. Ah, more statics. This way to the sands. That's pretty much that as far as the eye can see in all directions of this place. This is the business end of Skegness. This is where people come and stay, and then they'll go to Skegness for day trips and things. And look at the beach. So close. So convenient. Hey, who's been defacing my path? Honestly. Right, okay. Onwards for a bit of contemplation and quiet now. Yeah, it's a bit overblown here. Path is still there, it's just no one's bothered coming along and sweeping off the sand any recently. I think one of these is me. I'm trying to work out which. I think it might be this one. But I don't really know my own tyre tracks well enough yet. Seems about right. Coming the other way, huffing and puffing as I get bogged down on this stuff. It's easier on foot though, so that's nice. There wasn't really a lot of it either. I thought, oh no, the path's gonna be like this for miles, and then I get around the corner and it's fine again. Oh right. Oh, it's still great. Yeah, 1:10. And there's Chapel St Green down there. Chapel St Leonard's, yes. That words eluding me. Time for a lemonade, definitely. That's the pullover down there, big village green. So I'm going to detach from the path briefly, go and find a pub and some lemonade. And then it's, oh look, the old style signs. These were in place before they became the King Charles England Coast Path. Yeah, old school, like it. Kind of prefer those, to be honest. Not just because I'm a raving Republican either. Right, let's have a look down here, see what we can find. I mean, I know there's lots of stuff down there, so I stopped this morning on the bike. Have a little look around. Give myself a half-hour break and then crack on. What a great day. Chapel St Leonard Village Green. The pullover, I think they call this. Not quite sure why. Bus interchange, I think. I've seen a lot of buses going past. I could have easily got a bus today, but I'm glad I didn't. Really enjoyed the bike ride today. Right, back to the shore front and back to work. So we are at Chapel Point. This is the North Sea Observatory, apparently. I saw it from the bike as I was zooming along. Well, it mostly seems to be a cafe stroke National Coastal Guard Coast Watch Institution volunteer point. Don't know if there's an actual telescope involved anywhere. Couldn't see one. Don't really have time to explore it more thoroughly. I've got to press on, and I got a nasty feeling. Coast path goes all dunesy for a bit. I mean, to be fair, I was on the road for this section, on a nearby inland road. So, I mean, I know that before very much longer, after another mile or two, there'll be another massive pavement all the way to the end. But there was this bit here, yes, which did force me to go off on a road detour on the bike. Keep to the beach for 900 metres. Something cut off by an incoming tide. Yeah, okay. Well, there we go. Right, well, I'm going down to the hard impacted wet sand then, obviously. Looks like we get to do a kilometre of actual beach. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I did wonder why the big pavementy bit did stop for a while. And I had to be on the road. Won't be very far though. Yeah, there we go, look. Cut-offed 3 miles. Now, I think I remember that being the name of the car park where the big promenade from the north, from Mablethorpe, ended. So I've got to do 3 miles of this, and then the remaining 7 or 8 miles is back on another massive promenade all the way. So that's okay. Bit of textural variety. But yeah, I'm going down to the wet bit because it's much easier to walk on than this stuff. So yeah, we get to lazily drift along and beachcomb for a bit then for the last stage before the final push. Let's do it. What time is it anyway? 1:43. Yeah, that's okay. yeah, all things being equal, it'll be a 5:30 finish again. Be about 6 o'clock by the time I got back to Skegness and picked the bike up, and then I'll just push on home, which is about 4 hours or so. We'll have missed rush hour as well, I think. That'd be good. Right, onward. Oh, good, I didn't miss it. 900 metres later, here it is. So I guess we pull inland a bit here. Perhaps hopefully goes to more of a conventional footpath rather than the sand. There's a car park somewhere around here. I think we cut through there. Maybe by that big sail thing. Alright, okay. So expressly off the beach now for a bit. Good. I mean, there are ways of making it easier, but it's never easy beach stuff on foot. So it's harder going than a proper footpath of mud, compacted mud and grass or even tarmac. Nice, it's pleasant though. Little best kept secret type beach along here. Nobody out here today. Alright, here we are. That's me. That's my rune, my sigil. Alright, follow the acorns. I spent quite a lot of my life following acorns, it turns out. And generally they don't lead me astray. So this is nicer, but yeah, mud, grass, nice and dry. Okay, looks like we're doing a little bit of country walking now then all of a sudden. Doesn't bother me, and I like it. Preferable to the sand anyway. So yeah, it's sort of not very far that way as a very thin, narrow, looping road of surprisingly high quality. With passing places and things. That's how I came along here on the bike. Another extended car park. Good. Ah! Face full of pine. Ugh. Yeah, this sort of early afternoon on a working Thursday. Not a lot of people about, dog walkers mostly. People of the more older persuasion, retirees and the like. I mustn't miss my signs through here. Ah, there you go, that weird sail thing. Hey, you can climb up inside, maybe it's like a viewpoint or something. Nah, you're right. Well, I guess we just carry on down the end of this car park and out and through. Yep, there's a sign. Let's do it. Chapel 6 Marshes. So yeah, maybe 2 or so miles until it turns back into a massive pavement on the seafront again. And then it'll stay that way right back to the car. So, just enjoying the variety. It's nice. Yeah, we're enjoying that bit. Looks like we've got a dune top now, because horse riding and cycling are expressly forbidden. They just tear the place up a bit, I guess, too much. That's alright, I was missing the breeze down there. Access on foot only, thank you. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, there's the breeze again. Oh, sand and sharp spiny grass. Excellent. Still the view's nice again. Oh yeah, there's that breeze. Excellent. Alright, let's plod on. Making some headway. Just come up there. Just going down there. And this is the largest hexagon I've seen all day. So that's Anderby Creek. Anderby Creek Caravan Park, middle of nowhere a bit. There wasn't much further the other side when the promenade picked up again, but I think we get a bit of dunes and beach to do until then. It's okay. Ooh, look at this. A view over the marshes. A landscape shaped by man for grazing and salt making, where the views are wide and the night brings dark skies. Skegness, 7.5 miles. Oh, Lincoln. Yeah, I suppose there must be a place called Lincoln. This is Lincolnshire. 40 miles that way. So not appearing in this film. quite far inland, nothing to do with me really. Louth, 15 miles, no sign of Mablethorpe. I'm not sure if I should be worried. Oh, is this like a tactile thing for blind people? Sound tower. Oh yeah, you can just about see it in the distance now. Maybe it had some weird acoustic thing, I don't know. I guess we'll never know. I'm a terrible tourist, I really am. So yeah, we get the other side of this, then I think there's a bit more dunes, and then it's onto a massive pavement that goes on and on all the way back to Mablethorpe, so that'll be good. Oh, here's the fun fair thing, just sort of see it in the distance. It's just stars, all very Van Gogh, I like it. Cow jumping over the moon. Not strictly astronomically accurate, but I'll take it. And the man in the moon, yeah. It's a bit whimsical, this. Yeah, no sign of Mablethorpe on here. Sutton-on-Sea's the one before Mablethorpe, though, so yeah, probably, I don't know. So I'll have to measure it, but I reckon we're probably looking at about 6 more miles. So quite a bit to do today still, but I think it'll get much easier quite soon, so good. So yeah, these are all very good, but that is basically a web address in barcode form, and what happens when the web server's no longer there? Future alien archaeologists will be confused by these square runes that we use everywhere. They'll have absolutely no idea how to decode them, I don't imagine. Nobody thinks of the future alien archaeologists. Actually, it's good being up on here, getting a little bit of height. You can see quite far out to sea. It's impressive. It's largely brown, actually. It is quite brown, this bit. I guess it's just the sandbanks rather than any specific dirt or mud. A lot of sand churned up in it, I guess. Yeah, so there's a second wind farm much further out that way. Not sure if I can see anything else. That low cloud bank, I think, coming in. Oh no, there's more wind turbines I see. Another wind farm much further out. What do your elven eyes see, Tim? Yeah. But then, yeah, just a lot of nothing really. I think there's a boat on the distant horizon there. It'll be on its way up to Hull, probably. Not sure what the other ports are north of Hull. Does Newcastle have much container shipping? I don't know, that's a long way off. At least 2 years away for me. Right, yeah, let's crack on, keep moving. Looks like we've got some tough dune stuff to do for a bit now. It's okay. Anderby Creek. Not a lot going on there. I think that cafe is open, but I'm alright. Alright, that's us up here. Along this track. I think we're getting quite close to the bit where the promenade starts again. Quite looking forward to. Return to my idle shambling. I don't concentrate too much on all these changeable terrains here in this middle bit. It's not what I signed up for. Zen and the art of putting one foot in front of the other. It's pretty much my thing, my bag. Okay. Public footpath to Marsh Yard, 1 mile. I think Marsh Yard might be the car park where the promenade starts. We'll see. Just keep walking, I'll find out. Do for time, 20 to 3. Yeah, doing alright. This is nice. Haven't really had much forest action this week. Feel like a nice wooded copse. Splendid. Still traversing the gap between promenades. Got a field margin here. Is that something shooting up through there already? Don't know what that is. Seed leaves. Hard to tell what the plant is. I don't even know if that's actual crops or just leftover weeds. It's already been ploughed and sown, I guess. Feels a bit more normal, a bit more conventional. bit more like what I think of when I think of farming and farmland, as opposed to all that insane mega culture going on to the south of Skegness. Yeah, I don't know what's in there and what stage it's at. Is that potatoes? No, it's not heaped enough, is it? It's peas, maybe? I don't know. Could be anything. And September for shooting, that's... I mean, you know, this is harvest time. Unless it's some very late crop. Maybe they get more than one go per field in this part of the world. The climate's right enough for it. And the soil's fertile enough. Maybe they do, maybe they plant two different things. And whatever that is, that's not going to grow to harvestable fruition until November, maybe? Maybe it's just sitting there and doing its thing till spring. Don't know. I know a lot about nothing, really. Or nothing much about a lot. I don't know, something like that. I don't know how that goes. Oh, what's that in the sky? It's aliens. They're finally here. Take me, I'm ready. The rapture was a couple of days ago, wasn't it? It's supposed to be. I think everyone's still here, which, you know, I kind of guess that's what would happen. I like to think that's what it is. The rapture is real, it did come, it took nobody. None of us are worthy. Probably a kite of some sort. Maybe a blimp. I guess if we keep walking we'll find out. Yes, I'm kind of looking for I've gone through a number of car parks along here, all of which were not the one I was expecting, so... I mean, I can see the Roman Bank, which is the sort of country lane link road on the top of the flood bank over there. That's where I cycled along, but I wasn't really counting car parks, so I don't really know how far until the one I want is. We'll see. We'll get there. It's now just gone 3 o'clock. So I can't be too far away from Mablethorpe at this point. Otherwise my whole day is ruined. I'll be getting home at like 3 in the morning. They say you shouldn't drive tired. I heartily agree. Mind you, sitting down in the car is a lot less taxing than doing this. So I have to keep myself mentally aware. Loud music, plenty of caffeine drinks, windows open, that sort of thing. Splash my face with water every now and then if need be. That'll be fine. Talk to myself. That works a lot, as you might imagine. Ooh. Right, let's get some more miles done then. Mystery solved. It's a kite. Quite a sophisticated one. Appears to be in-flight refuelling another kite. Been at it a while. Guess they can't get the line up right. See, life has no mystery these days. Good yomp there. Head down, trudge on, get places in my head. So, memory serves, and it was only this morning. This is the start of the cycleway up to Sutton-on-Sea, Sandylands and Mablethorpe. Single continuous, cycle route. Coastal cycle route. Okay, yeah, fine. Thank you for cycling. I did what I could, you know. I'm kind of compelled to walk for the return journey, so... yeah, so at the end of this car park it goes off onto another concrete boulevard all the way back to the car, although we are still about 5 miles away, so actually I could probably look that up, but yeah, still another 2 hours or so of trudging, but on significantly easier terrain now. I really can put myself on autopilot and just enjoy the ambience. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, here we are. To infinity and beyond. It goes literally miles. I mean, I honestly don't know if it continues on out past Mablethorpe as well. Maybe we get a load of this on the first stage of the next trip. It's a dream on the bike. Bit more grim on foot, I imagine, but we'll do it. That's just late in the day talking. Done a lot of miles this week. Don't know how many really. 5 times 15 on average, I guess. We had a long day, we had a short day. What is 5 times 15? 4 times 15 is 30, 60, 75, yes. That's usually what I aim for on these weeks. 75 is a pretty typical distance. Yeah, good. Let's march on. There's a majestic view. Sweep of coast. Basically this path goes all the way up it. Had a quick measure, 4.2 miles from here to where I need to be to finish today. In a straight line, which it pretty much is. It's good, 2 hours or so, and we'll be done. Got stuck in a walk-off with a chap behind me. Had to feign a need for a water stop, just to let him get ahead and buy him some distance. It's alright, I did appreciate the water. It was very awkward. End up on the trail with someone who's very slightly faster or very slightly slower than you, and it's like, oh god, it's like 2 lorries overtaking on a dual carriageway. It's terrible and awkward, very awkward too. I think he's long gone now, so that's good. Alright, get on to the end. I don't know if the end of what's invisible in sight is the bit I'm after or not, but I certainly need to get there. Good, so what, Sandylands, Sutton-on-Sea, South Sutton-on-Sea, don't know. Miami Beach was one of the names I saw, surprising, and then Mablethorpe itself. So yeah, it should be good. Let's coast on into the end. Civilization. Beach huts. I'm quite sure where I am now actually, I'll have to look it up. Still, look, brick beach huts. These have obviously had a run-in with the big bad wolf, these people. They know what they're doing. And it's mucking around with wood, straight to brick. Yeah. And they make quite a thing of it. And I've experienced it both ways, mostly. I think I'm somewhere around Sutton-on-Sea at the moment. Trust Hope coming up next. Didn't even notice that, frankly. It does sort of imply it stops here, though, doesn't it? Well, there it is. I'll take the assist though. I guess next week's back to the usual dunes and muddy farm edges and stuff. But it's okay. Yeah. Church Lane, Sutton-on-Sea, Pullover Sea Gate. Okay. Something about archaeology up there. There's a lot of information. Too much for me at this time of the day and this far into a hike. I'm just going to keep at it. Oh, this thing must just stop at Mablethorpe then. Huh. Still trudging along. About a mile to go now, I think. End of the day. I think that's Trusthorpe, something like that over there, but we can't really see because the barrier's a bit high. Some houses and things. Not much to report. I think that big building over there was where I got on this path, but I got on a bit late, a bit further down because the car's not all the way at the finish point. It's a bit further this way as well, hopefully. So yeah, just pursue this vanishing point to its end, and then I think we're homing in on the prize. There's no prize. Just sounds better when I say it like that. Homing in on the end of this bit and the beginning of the next bit. There we go, that's more factually accurate. Yeah, our feet are pretty worn and numb and throbby. That's what you get. It's one of the downsides of spending most of the day on pavement. Just get more vibration, more shock, a bit more numbness from pavement as opposed to grass or mud. I'm sure you've heard me complain about that a lot before. Oh, that looks planted. Looks like somebody's making a serious effort to stabilise that sand. Fremen, probably. I recognise their handiwork anyway. So yes, it's been good. Been a good day. Been a good week. Been a good year. I start Bordsea Ferry. That was near Felixstowe, way down in I think that would be Suffolk. Yes, Suffolk. I think we'd left Essex by then. So we've done Suffolk and Norfolk and half of Lincolnshire this year, so go me. Yeah, and I've mostly been pleased that, you know, next mile willing, of course, anything could happen in the next half hour, as they say, but I think this year's been a year of success. Done 20 trips, and pretty much every one of them has worked. You know, what I'd planned to do, I did. I mean, you know, the nonsense yesterday with the bridge, well, that was a minor hiccup, but it didn't stop me completing the day, so that was good. Getting to where I said I wanted to get to for that day. Didn't have to stop and jack it in and go home or anything. Not had any injuries, which is good. Apart from the usual wear and tear, which generally heals itself, so that's all right. I had, like, you know, done my knee in or my feet are worn out or something. I'm going to have to try and work towards building up durability for a full backpack at some point, though, in a not too distant future, because I foresee certain legs in the next few years might require me to start camping and through hiking again, to get to more and more remote places where the day's bicycle round trip equivalent is like 70 miles, you know. So yeah, I'd like to get back to the point where I could carry a full week's gear, you know, full week's camping gear and survive and not have my feet, you know, just wear through or whatever happened that time. But I think I've settled into a routine with the biking and the day hiking. Anyway, the biking's been a huge success this year, new this year, and as you know, all 20 days I've managed to cycle the same distance, if not more, back at the beginning of the day to park the bike so I can start walking. Yes, I lost one bike, but that was through my own stupid tinkering rather than any kind of mishap on the day, on the actual holiday. And these bikes are supposed to be disposable to an extent, so I'm not counting that as a failure, really. Very pleased. I think I've done 4 trips, each of about 75 miles. So what's that? It's 150. It's about 300 miles this year achieved, I think, or will be when I get to the car. Which I think is decent. I think it's reasonable. I think if I do 300 miles a year, I stand a reasonable chance of finishing this thing before my body stops me being able to. That's always the trade-off. That's the worry. I don't know if I've started this especially late in life, but you know, I'm 50 at the moment, so. And I'm 8 years in, and potentially another 8. I really couldn't put an absolute figure on how many more years this will take, because it depends on a lot of choices I'm going to make down the line. But between the next within the next 10 years, I suppose. I mean, yeah, ideally, I'd like to have the whole thing finished by the time I'm 60. You know, because just the idea of me doing this while I'm 60, I don't know. It seems odd. Maybe possible. I might be in reasonable health still then. So you know. But have to bear that kind of thing in mind when you're tackling a challenge or a project that's likely to take many, many years. So you know, I'm not going to last forever. It's a bit of a morbid thought, but then yeah, no one lasts forever. It's not so much me lasting forever. It's the point is that can I walk 15 miles a day indefinitely? So for a week, 4 times a year. I can at the moment. So it's time to make hay while the sun shines. I am reasonably confident I'll get to Scotland, certainly. Let's just deal with that first, you know. 2 years or so from here. Starting next May, probably. We'll see. Anyway, enough ruminating. Let's finish today. And I can wrap up and I can leave you to the rest of your year in peace. Yeah, wow. It's got a bit of a go-away vibe, doesn't it? Must be nice. Must be nice to have your own seafront that no one else is allowed on. Anyway, I go over here now, do I? Yes. Cut down here. Work along the road down the bottom. Okay. Bit of variety for the last bit. Yes. Right. Now we're around the super private flat block. Actually, it does look like I could have just gone along the beach there for that bit. Still, the sign said to come up here, so here we go. Right, the last bit. Mablethorpe itself, which doesn't have a pier, which is a shame. But that's okay, I've seen a pier this week, so I'm content. Yeah, somewhere down there, my car parked through these beach huts. Nice to verify its continued existence. So as long as my car hasn't been stolen today and my bike is still where I left it today as well, then I'll have had a whole year of successes. So we're not quite out of the woods yet. I'm not anticipating trouble. Let's see. There it is! Hooray! There you are. I found you. My car is terrible at hide and seek, and for that I'm quite glad. Right, okay, so up to the main promenade junction point. I've arbitrarily decided is Mablethorpe. And I'm going to shuffle back to here to get the car. Drive on back to Skegness, which is not an easy feat. It'll probably take me the best part of an hour to get from here to Skegness and load the bike. And it's 4:45 now, so yeah, pretty much 5 bang on, I think, when all said and done. That's pretty good. 11 o'clock I think I set off. So 6 hours, yeah, good. 15 miles in 6 hours. I don't even know what that means. Some maths there. I could probably update my key performance indicators, you know. I got where I wanted to go, and it's still today. That's pretty much where I go. Not dark, still a reasonable enough amount of time to get home by car. Back to Berkshire. This is a far cry from Lincolnshire. Yeah. Bucket and Spade Cafe. Oh, what happened here? My God! It's not really my feet that are aching most, it's just my neck and back. I haven't drunk as much water as I was expecting, so the bag's heavier than I'm used to at this point. I have to look into an alternative bag. This one isn't very good, the zip's stuck on one side, and I have to make sure I use the buckles, otherwise it comes open. Quite like some sort of leather knapsack with, like, you know, leather straps and proper brass buckles, you know. They don't seem to do those anymore. It's all this like polyester plastic nonsense. There's me wittering about bags, and the end is in sight. Alright, I'll talk to you again soon. Now, here we are. Mablethorpe seafront area, according to Google. Does indeed look like that. Amusements and ice cream and fun fairs a go-go, but they're all closed because it's 6 minutes to 5 on Thursday the 25th of September. So, yes. Yeah, the guy there's got some ice cream though, so we're going to find out where and get one anyway. Yeah, no pier. They've got like a seafronty bit with some fish and chips and things, but is that a stone boat? No. No pier though. Oh, and here I will leave you this year, so it's been a good one. I waxed lyrical about my achievements already before we got here because I couldn't wait. Yes, this is the end of the 2025 season, end of day 5 of week 4 of year 8 of 2025. Anyway, I'm finished my 20 for the year, and it's been good. It's a manageable pace. I've got about 300 miles done, and I've made it here. So I had a quick look at my notes, because on my phone I've got like the notepad tool utility, and I sometimes when I'm bored at work or whatever, I jot out ideas about staging for future legs and stuff. And apparently next year, the 2026 season, in my 20 days, I will finish north of Blythe and South Shields. I won't quite make it to Scotland. And apparently, according to my hasty back of the envelope calculations, the 2027 May week will see me at Berwick-on-Tweed. So I don't know. I don't know if that will stand contact with the enemy, of course, but we'll see. We'll see. I certainly intend to be back here next May 2026, and I'll be heading north, obviously, from here. That's what I do. And I will get to Grimsby in about 2 days. I think next stop from here is Donnanook, which is just a sort of RSPB sanctuary or something. There's an airbase nearby. It's a car park I picked out that was roughly the right distance. It gets a bit sparse, but then we've got Grimsby and then the Humber Bridge, which is going to be exciting. I hope I hit that on a day with low wind, basically, because I'm going to have to walk and cycle across it, most likely. Which you are allowed to do, and it is the England coast path, I did check. The alternative is a 70-mile round trip upriver to who knows where. Then there's Hull on the other side, obviously, famously. Big city, we'll see how that works. And then out into the big sort of hooky peninsula of the north side of the Humber, which is going to be a couple of days' worth all on its own. So that's probably the shape of my May week coming up. Yeah. But I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to assume my bike is where I left it and that everything is great and that I'll make it home safely. Thanks very much for watching and commenting and all that stuff, and keeping me company in a sort of spiritual sense. I know you're there in spirit, and it does help. I don't do this necessarily. I'd do this even if I wasn't recording videos of it anyway, but it's nice to give it a bit of purpose, give it a bit of meaning, and hopefully let somebody else vicariously enjoy a bit of it as well. That's good too. And also, if anyone else is actually trying to do this endeavour, then hopefully my half-assed video reportage will provide some tactically useful snippets for your own attempts, you know? Who knows? Maybe you've already done this bit and you're just scoffing at how what a meal I've made of it. Either way, it's all good. So, I've just filmed that whole thing facing into the sun. I do apologise. I'm not very good at this stuff. So, I am going to say goodbye. I'll give you the rest of your year back, and let's meet here again in May, and we'll crack on. I mean, I'm still game for it if you are. So, see you later. Winner, winner, ice cream dinner.